This is just a small token of our appreciation for you. It says, let me turn it around so you can read it. Presented to Louise O'Donnell for her 55 years of dedication to service through storytelling. With deep appreciation and profound gratitude, Storytellers of Las Cruces, 2021.
Yay!
So, thank you again.
Now, Jean, could we have the people who are watching in whatever order you wish? We have screen here. Express their congratulations to Louise. Would anybody like to do that?
Yes, I think it'd be nice to start with some members of Louise's family who are here. Sarah, would it be okay to start with you?
Sure. Yeah. When Mom started the Story League, there were several older members. The elder stateswomen, I think I would call them, like Jenny Curry and Flo St. John and Mrs. Boykin and a whole bunch of them. And I think now Mom's taking her turn at it. She's a good storyteller. Yeah. Congratulations, Mom.
Thank you, Sarah.
Can you see her?
That's so interesting to us. Some of us never got to meet Jenny Curry, so a lot of history there.
She was awesome.
A lot of history there. And how about you, Jan?
Yes.
I guess, would you like to share?
Sure. Hi, Louise. This is Jan Archie from church.
Hi.
Hi. And Louise has been always a special person because she had both the boys, I think, in Sunday school at some point or another, didn't you? Oh, yeah. And I was trying to think where you taught school.
University Hills.
Yes. And both our sons went to University Hills.
For 20 years.
It was 20 years, yes. Well, my kids were not there 20 years.
I was hoping they were faster learners than that.
They were fast learners. And it was so cool to have Louise at the school because she knew our boys. And she interacted with them at church and had them in Sunday school. And Louise, you just have touched so many people's lives. Especially through church, and that's the way I know you. So, congratulations on 55 years. That's a pretty incredible achievement to stay in a group that long. So, keep going strong, okay?
I'd like to say something.
Sure.
Go ahead, Judith. Thank you, Jan.
Louise, the first time I went to Storytellers, it was at Mrs. St. John's mobile home. And Jenny Curry invited me. I won't say she took me because she wasn't driving. I took her, but she invited me, and you were there. And you ladies were all so great. I somehow left a member, and I didn't even know it, you know. But you're an institution, and we all love you.
Wow.
You've done all, see, the footprints you left? You're leaving?
I see Pat Gill there.
Yeah, here I am.
Hi, Pat. Do you want to go next?
Yeah. I'm just really glad to meet Louise. We were a couple of the youngins for a long time. And of course, Jenny Curry did her magic, and we turned out pretty good. And I just am happy to be Louise's friend, and I see her at church when I go. And she's a marvelous lady and a wonderful mom, and a good storyteller. And I think she even plays the piano.
You play the piano, Louise?
Well, sort of.
So many things that we didn't know, that some of us didn't know about you, Louise, that we're learning through all the different commentary from people, and that's wonderful. Florence, I see you. How about you sharing?
Hi, Louise.
Florence.
I certainly remember you. You were always so gracious about taking me. I was kind of new still to the city, so I got lost pretty often. You would always offer to drive me, for which I'm very grateful. Quite a storyteller, and all the goodies at your home at Christmas time.
We'll have to come back for Christmas.
It's true. Yeah. Sonia.
Let's always have Christmas at Louise's.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Louise, I'm not sure, but if I remember correctly, you said you came from a town called Hygiene, and you made a joke about the name.
You came from a town called Hygiene.
I grew up.
What was the joke about hygiene?
The cleanest town in the world.
She said that Hygiene is the cleanest town in the world.
Oh, yeah.
It better be.
How old were you when you left Hygiene?
Well, I went up to college in Fort Collins, and from then on, I met Charlie, and we ended up getting married, and all kinds of things happened then.
And the rest is history. Lucky for Diana.
Yeah, stand up if I can't see the t-shirt. Oh, yay.
Yeah, it's got our emblem from
I'm in Dad.
Yeah. As does your trophy. Your trophy has it too. She said that people got those shirts because of you.
Yeah, she put it, what do you call it? When you put it on the
Screen, silk screen.
Silk screen.
Oh, yeah. Did you know you did silk screen, Louise?
I had a
Well,
Press
anyway,
them.
that's what she did.
She says she heat pressed them.
I remember when she did that.
Gloria, would you like to comment now?
Well, I was late to the party, I guess you could say, because I'm one of the youngins. So when I met Louise, we met being ushered into her home, her gracious home, for a storytellers meeting. And she always had lots of, I think, Native American memorabilia. You had a real connection with Native American culture, I think. And you told some stories that, related to that.
And she loved coming to your house.
Yeah.
I have her granddaughter right next to me.
Okay.
And I am flipping the screen on her. Wait, wrong way. There we go.
Hi, Diana.
Hi.
What would you like to say about Louise?
Well, she's always been a great storyteller, and when all the grandkids were little kids, she would tell us all of the stories that she told in your group, so we got to hear some of them several times and got them stuck in our heads, but we always loved to hear a great story from Grandma, and there's one in particular that still sticks in my head until this day, so it's definitely true that stories have a lasting impact on people, and she was always really good at telling them, and sometimes still enjoys telling one every so often. So she's got a lot of story ideas in her head that she'd like to write down.
Do you remember?
The story of the three sillies. And have you heard the story of the three sillies?
The three sillies.
Yeah, I think I remember.
Oh, I have.
The three sillies, yeah.
Yeah.
It's this, I guess, set in a bygone era in some countryside, and there's this traveler, and he stops. He has three adventures, and the adventurers are encountering these people who are silly beyond measure, and so he's just like of average intelligence, but he's smarter than them, and so he brings the solutions to their problems, and they think he's like this wise genius, basically. So, and it has a happy ending, but he goes through the three steps. But one of the adventures is that he wakes up and his fellow traveler roommate is trying to, I guess, get his pants on.
Oh,
so he's
and
like running
he's jumping into them?
Yeah, he's running and trying to jump into his pants. He has them like propped up, and he's trying to, dive into them, basically.
If I remember that story correctly, it starts out he's about to get married into this family, and he finds out the family is really silly. And he says, I'm not coming back until I find three people who are sillier than you guys.
Yes, that's right.
Is that it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that story?
No.
Everybody else does. Wow.
You have so many stories, don't you?
Well,
What's your favorite story?
Oh my goodness, do I have to have a favorite?
No, you can have several.
Yes.
I do remember your favorite song was Danny Boy.
Yeah, I like Danny Boy.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to sing it, but I'm glad to know that your favorite song was Danny Boy.
Why won't you sing it?
He really likes this story.
I don't want to punish anybody.
Oh, Danny Boy.
He really likes this story, Minnie and the Bear, which is a true story.
Minnie and the
Oh,
Bear.
yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Minnie and the Bear? What is that about?
Well, Minnie Rice, who was our neighbor when we lived up near Cliff, she was a really nice lady, and I like to talk to her. And I can still see her looking at me and saying, a bear got on my door. And her daughter was sitting on the other side, and she said, it scared us to death. And I said, well, what did you do? She said, well, I just got a pan and a spoon and started making lots of noise. And the bear fell off my door. And when he was trying to get away, he knocked over my geranium plants that were outside the door. But he ran off out to the barn, and he did some damage out there. I'm not quite sure what he did, but he finally ran off to the wilderness. But her story about a bear got on my door just wouldn't leave me. And so I ended up writing a little story about the bear that got on her door.
Oh, that's so cute. Thanks for sharing that
Thank
with
you.
us.
Well, someone's joined us by phone. Who is it?
This is Kathy. Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
I was going to comment, Diana reminded me that when the kids were small and we would go visit, that
Would you like to sit down, Louise?
stories to the kids. Let her get settled. Yeah, she would start the stories with Once Upon a Time. And my son, who's younger than Diana, a little bit younger, he loved those stories to start with Once Upon a Time. And so they were learning some words in Spanish, and panza is stomach. So he knew stomach was panza, and he thought she was saying panza time. when we get to their house, he'd run up and say, Grandma, Grandma, can you tell me a Ponce time story?
Panza is like the Spanish word for stomach. So when you said once upon a time, the kid thought you said Ponce time.
Like, you know,
Stomach upon a time.
Thank you, Kathy.
Yes, ma'am.
That's precious. Congratulations to you, Louise, for receiving this most deserved recognition from Storytellers for 55 years of service with the League and for your work in the community showing children and adults alike the power of stories. I am personally very grateful to you for your commitment and your loyalty to our League with the many fond memories I have of meetings in your home. Some of the memories I have are honestly the equivalent of like a campfire-like gathering due to the intimacy of the small groups and the skill of our members making connections through their stories and through your stories, Louise. One of my favorite storytellings of yours is The Little Copper Kettle. And one that you tell so very well that you told at our founder events.
My real involvement in telling stories had a neighbor across the street here named Billy St. John.
Mm-hmm.
And she and her mother-in-law were both in storytelling. And I can still hear Billy saying me one day, because we became real good friends. Mm-hmm. And we'd get together and yak. And she says, would you like to learn how to tell stories? So she sort of took me under her wing. And back then, there was a limit of 25 people in Story League. Mm-hmm. And no men. Just ladies.
Not fair.
Things have changed, haven't they? But anyhow, Billy sort of started me off to tell them. And then I got acquainted with Pat soon after that. They told us when we first started telling that we'd get a $10 credit every time we told. And so I said, when I was telling, I said that one of the kids could choose a book and the cost of it would come out of mine. And whoever I told that to said, well, you don't need to do that. He said, those books aren't doing any good on the shelf. We'll just let every child who comes to hear stories take a book.
So you started that?
You started that. That's sweet, Miss Louise. I didn't realize that. I knew that it changed, but I didn't know what was behind it.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is Louise pictured with the Jenny Curry family for a Jenny Curry Story Fest that was in March of 2009, and it looks like we might be at the library.
Well, you know what? Somehow on my screen, Louise is on the corner. I don't see her.
Yeah, no, Louise is in the corner, right? It's the only one I can find. I mean, I looked at some other ones, and I felt lucky to have this one.
I think it's because my screen. Oh, Vera, now I can see.
Maybe slide it over.
No, it was my picture. My screen was taking it, wasn't showing.
Louise, you look like you were cleaning up in that picture.
And this is a photo that I took just a week ago at Pat Gill's award, Doniana Arts Council, Art in Education, and Louise was the presenter who introduced Pat. wrote a very nice speech, Louise. And here's the picture of Louise with Greg Smith. And this is Louise giving the introductory speech about Pat. And Greg Smith is holding the award. He's the director of the Donan Arts Council. Okay, Louise is getting ready to go off stage now, and Pat is coming up to give her acceptance. It was a really nice event. Both speeches were excellent, Louise's and Pat's. Here's another one. Oh, there's another one. You look great, Sonia. I was going to ask you for. Oh, this is a fun picture. They look delighted. Pat and Louise are sitting at the table, and there's like Pat looks like she swallowed a canary, like you just told a joke. Did you swallow the canary, Pat? Oh, of course. Yeah, a different expression. Pat has already swallowed the canary. Yeah. You remember the joke, Pat? Afraid not. Okay, we pretty much already saw this one. Just a different. I took a lot of shots of the same. You know, we were all together. We were doing something with flowers or something. I don't remember. There's Lonnie and Louise together. That's a nice picture. That's a good one. Where are we? And Pat's in the background where Florence used to live in the in Cantata. Yeah. Yeah. And if you look in the background behind Pat, you'll see Charlene playing her guitar. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It looks like in Cantata. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where it was holiday time because we're all sharing a meal, potluck and everything. Mm-hmm. Potluck, yeah. And you could tell because Pat's wearing her Christmas vest. And so is and Snowflake. So is Louise, and so is Lonnie. Louise is wearing her snowflake. Yeah. And Lonnie's looks like it's holly or something she's wearing too. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Been a great 55 years.
Think I'll be in another 55 years?
Why not? We love you.
Might as well.
Make it 56.
Yeah.
We can't imagine going on without you. We need you.
Well, we have some really good storytellers in our group.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
And it's too bad that things have changed because going to co-ops like we used to, that was nice.
Yes.
Sure.
Louise, we are so proud of you.
I'm proud of the whole group.
On the count of 3, could we have a cheer for Louise O'Donnell? 1, 2, 3. Yay!
Congratulations. Thank you, Louise.
Thanks for everything, Louise.
So are you going to go?
Thank you.
We appreciate you.
Anyway, we're going to say goodnight to everybody. We're going to sign off with our president here.
Oh, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for coming, sharing words of accolades to Louise, 55 years.
And counting.
And counting, yes. Anyway, but thank you for the memories, and thank you. She looks beautiful in her red, as well as her red flowers and her plaque. So we're going to bid everyone a good night. Stay well. And Louise, we love you. Congratulations again.
Louise, wave goodbye to all the people who love you.
Bye.
Say goodbye.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye,
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Bye.